Hello heathens and welcome to my channel. I am Beauty Heathen and my channel is dedicated to the exploration of paganism. Sometimes I do readings like tonight, sometimes I do educational content through the medium of cosmetics, and sometimes I went blank. Do demonstrations of different aspects of paganism. Be it ritual work or other things. So, sorry. It's been a very, very long day, and this evening has been fraught with me literally yelling at people. So, yeah. No one you know, nobody on YouTube, nobody on, just more people in my personal life getting very callous and numb to the real world impact of this pandemic and the potentiality of loss of human life and the reality that they themselves will likely be impacted if they don't stop acting like assholes. Yay! So, I wanted to do something that was a little bit different tonight from my usual pick a card. By the way, little quick note. I know I've mentioned it a number of times and I've described it before, but I never had them in my vicinity to show you. But this is how cascarilla powder comes. It's in these little paper cups. If you were to go to a pagan store or buy them from a botanica, this is literally how it comes. It comes pressed, almost like makeup does, pressed into a pan, but they're in these little paper cups. So what you would do is, if you buy it instead of making it yourself, you rip off the paper cup and you basically just put it in something and bash it to get it to be a very fine chalky powder again. Or you can actually use it like this if you want to write on something like you would chalk. So anyway, sorry that was a little off topic, but anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that for anybody who's been wondering what the hell I was talking about every time I said they come in these little cups. There you go. So, with things that I have purchased and things that have come, one of which is today, I thought it might be a little interesting to do a 3 goddess deck reading. The ultimate goddess reading. So, for anyone who's new and may not have seen my other pick-a-cards, this one is going to be very different from what I usually do. Usually I start off with one, then I lead in with energy oracle cards to kind of get a feel of the reading, and pull on other oracle decks to try to get a well-rounded message. This time I am exclusively using these 3 goddess decks. And life is not all hearts and flowers. Sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad, and not all of the cards here are negative, and I wouldn't even consider them negative per se, but maybe more of a more shadow work type feel to them. So I did shuffle this particular deck off screen. I will shuffle these before I do each reading, because I'm going to use this as the pick a card deck and the other 2 to kind of round it out. So I start with the darker stuff and then I bring in the lighter things to kind of get a rounded message. I have not looked at these cards. I did shuffle them off camera to save time because I didn't know how long I would be required to shuffle. And also because this deck is larger and harder for me to grip, so you would have seen the cards as I was folding them if I did them on screen. I didn't look at them when I did it, so we will find out in a minute what everything is going to be. And I will actually keep out the book for these cards just in case I need it. And we will do 4 cards. Put that deck there, and let's see. We'll do, actually, I got this nice little bowl here for some crystals. These are crystals I already had, but I wanted the bowl to put them in to keep them safe and stored. Angel Aura Quartz. Apophyllite. Icelandic Spar. None of these. Let us go with bowl number 2 and see if the 4th stone, or maybe. Yeah. Selenite. So it's Angel Aura Quartz, Apophyllite, Icelandic Spar, and Selenite. So I'll give you a moment to choose your card, and then I will see you at the click of your timestamp. And with that, I'll see you at your card. Okay, Angel Aura Quartz, this is your card. And reading. So as I said, I have 3 goddess decks. This first one is the Dark Goddess Oracle cards. I will also be using the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards from Doreen Virtue and the Goddess Power Oracle by Colette Baron Reed. So, let's see what your card comes up with. Purification. I'm not going to try to pronounce her name because that would be very difficult and I don't want to butcher it. This is actually a goddess that I don't know much about, so I will break open the book in a moment. I just want to shuffle these real quick. Right off the bat, I get the feeling like perhaps you've been dealing with a lot lately and you have a lot on your plate, which is not surprising because even though these readings are in fact timeless, this is being recorded during the 2020 coronavirus pandemic with everything going on, so I can see where that would be a factor. But if you are watching this later, it could just be that you've been dealing with a lot and things are getting pretty heavy. Okay, off the bat, that card seems to want to come out. And don't worry, I'll flip it in a second. I don't know if you saw it or not. I think it's Papalotl. It's Papalotl. I don't know if she would be Incan or Aztecan or Mayan. She's likely one of those three from that area. So this card is calling for purification. So let me look her up real quick. It's Apophyllite. And if I'm mispronouncing her name, please forgive me. I'm doing my best. Toxins tend to multiply. Body screams to purify, release old habits, cleanse, refine, healed and whole to really shine. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. So keep in mind that she's calling on you to do a clean sweep. This is a very strong message. I will also include a link up here for my full moon release ritual. But let me read off to you everything that this goddess is for. Are you allowing things to fester or be swept under the carpet? Time to come clean and let it all out. Whatever it is you have been harboring, money troubles, ill health, dark secrets, must come out into the light of day before they do you any more harm. None of these things can be sorted out by pretending to the outside world that they simply don't exist. You cannot continue on this path and hope it will just all go away. Face up to your troubles now, otherwise they will only continue to have power over you. Take the first steps into the light as it's a Apophyllite invites you up to the top of her incredible temple. From this wonderful vantage point, you will see the bigger picture. Allow this mighty goddess to give you the courage to purify the elements of your life that are causing you such dis-ease. Very interesting card to come up tonight. Speak to someone professional or otherwise who can help. Dark goddess's foresight. Listen to friendly advice. Pay off your debts while you can. An unexpected pregnancy is announced. Don't put off going to the doctor. Your experiences will be called upon to help a friend. Take a walk on elevated ground, such as a moor or a hillside. And moor is M-O-O-R. Archetypal purifier of Aztec origin. There we go. This obsidian butterfly is a fearsome warrior goddess who ruled over the paradise world, Tamoanchan, where humans were created. Its Apophyllite was the patron of the day and of women and children who died in childbirth. To pass through her kingdom is to be cleansed of all ills and reborn again. As a star demon, she sometimes did this by devouring people during solar eclipses, which, if you have not watched my video on Aztecan religion, you might want to, because you would understand that a little bit better after watching that. They were very bloody people, very violent and bloody people, and their deities equally so. So keep in mind that this doesn't necessarily make her demonic. It's just a darker energy that she has. But here's the card. And Mother Mary, expect a miracle. Very interesting. The Virgin Mother shows up. Virgin Mother Goddess. So maybe you may be very well going to be having an unexpected pregnancy. We will see. Again, this is a general reading. This doesn't necessarily apply to everyone, but either way, she's telling you, get your stuff organized, deal with the things that you've been putting off. It's time to get them out of the way. Ine, leap of faith. Take a risk and put your heart's true desire into action. And then we have Arakura, blossoming. You are just getting started, so have patience with yourself and the process and do not give up. So she's definitely telling you to pull up your bootstraps and get things done. And I see that with the purification, it's going to, if you've been especially feeling very blocked, and if you're trying to manifest things and they're not happening for you, this process of dealing with the things that you've been holding on to and letting them go will open a door to allowing that manifestation happen. It will open doors. It will allow things to come in. So this is the Goddess Power Oracle. I just literally received this today. So yours is the very first reading that these have ever been used in. I did take a quick glimpse at the deck, but I don't know the goddesses. I don't know their order or anything of that nature. I was just looking at the artwork like you do. And as always with new decks, sometimes they can be a little bit difficult to shuffle at first, so... trying to make sure they're well shuffled, as always. And I always shuffle until I feel that stopping point, so... I felt it. Sorry, kind of messed up the cards here a little bit. So, Sirwidden, Potential, Gaia, Earth. Doesn't surprise me. Gaia is Earth energy, obviously. Manifestation. So I would say with purification, it most likely will be that grounding and getting back to your center and getting back into nature will help you with that process. Because it can be very meditative. It can allow you to open and expand your mind and your consciousness to allow for you to gain clarity and perspective. It helps you get rid of all the noise of the world and allow for you to refocus your energy on the things that are most important. So there may be things here that you are nervous about doing and speaking up. I know personally I've been holding things within myself. You know, I've seen during this whole pandemic, people, I said in the video that I actually posted today, these times bring out the best in people or they bring out the worst in people. And some of the people that I've had the most respect for have really shown their ass during all of this. People that I've really considered to be very intelligent and good people have been showing that they're really buying into a lot of the conspiracy theories. And then if people, it's like, you know, this whole situation is really bringing out the crazy in people. It really is. And I just went on like a 15-minute rant video, posted it to my Facebook account to just kind of like tell people off and tell them to knock it off. And it's a very scary process, and it can be scary, especially with this leap of faith card. I can see that you're likely feeling very anxious or a lot of anxiety about the thought of doing this, especially if this is a situation where speaking your truth and speaking up and releasing the things that you're holding on to or holding within yourself. Manifestation, blossoming, transformations in any way, make, shape, or form, they are never a gentle process. They are never something that's just going to be, oh, someone's going to take you by the hand and very gently lead you on the way. No, when you are looking at transformation, the strongest thing to consider is look at the butterfly. Before a butterfly becomes this beautiful winged creature, it starts off as a caterpillar. Some of them are pretty, some of them are ugly. Depends on your, definition of what is beautiful. When a caterpillar goes into its cocoon, when it's in the cocoon, it literally disintegrates. And somehow in its DNA, it is reformulated and formed into a butterfly that comes out of a cocoon. So a caterpillar literally has to disintegrate in order for it to become the butterfly and go through that transformative process. So remember that next time if you heard rebirth. If you heard that background noise, please forgive me. So yeah, that goes very much in with what I was saying. You're going through a transformative process, and the first step of going into that is this purification. You have to release the things that you're holding on to. You have to let go and deal with the things that you may have been putting off, and you have to focus that attention onto those things. So I hope this guidance and these positive outcomes that are coming as a result may give you something to look forward to with all of this. And until next time, I wish you brightest blessings and blessed be. Okay, Apophyllite, this is your reading. Here is your crystal. Let me go ahead and put that back in there. Now, I don't know what this card is yet, so let's see. Lilith, equality. Okay. We'll look her up in a moment, but I just want to get this first deck shuffled. Now, Lilith is often that she is portrayed as a demonic or very negatively viewed goddess, but she's often demonized far more than she deserves. I mean, I look at some of the books that I read when I read about vampires and everything. They always name some powerful female vampire Lilith. But I will get into her meaning in a moment. Right off the bat, perhaps you have been dealing with situations of inequality, or where you are feeling like maybe you're not receiving the accolades or the attention that you wish or you feel you deserve. So, I felt that stop. So let's see what Lilith says. Okay, Lilith, equality. Alluring serpents slip and slide, secrets whispered deep inside. All are equal, but don't back down. Master this, you'll wear the crown. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. Dark goddess's guidance. What makes you presume to be so high and mighty? Your ego self has enjoyed looking down its nose way too often when you've compared yourself to others, and you'd much rather go off and do your own thing your own way. Of course, your way is far better than anyone else's in your opinion. Whereas self-confidence is always encouraged, Lilith, the first woman of creation, reminds you that everyone is equal in the eyes of the goddess. She encourages you to not only admire your marvelous attributes, but see the gift in another's. Everything that is alive has its own place and unique energy to help this world tick. Harness your own strength and power and use it for the highest good. Lilith embraces the fact that you are not subservient to others. However, she will assist you in bringing your perception into the balance so that you can defend your identity while embracing the equality of all. Dark Goddess's foresight, don't ever put yourself down or feel inferior to anyone. Walk your own path, hold on to your beliefs, and don't be swayed by another's. You are as good as anyone else. Snake symbols confirm your transformation. Stand your ground for equal pay and treatment. Respect is key. Archetypal egalitarian of Mesopotamian origin, she was Adam's first wife, created as an equal, but fell out with Adam when insisting on equality. Lilith left and Eve was created from Adam. Lilith can be seen as the first lady of creation and as such on a par with man, created in God's feminine image. So let's see what comes up for you with Goddess Oracle, Dana, High Priestess. You have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. Aphrodite, inner goddess, awaken the goddess within you through dance, self-care, and appreciating your divinity. And Kali, endings and beginnings. The old must be released so the new can enter. Transformative process. And I'll link my video on Kali somewhere up there. Now, Aphrodite in this case, frequently people view her as a goddess of relationships or external love, but she's also a goddess of internal love and finding that love within yourself, which I feel is the needed message with regards to this reading. That perhaps you have been putting your own needs and desires aside for the needs and wants of others instead of taking care of yourself. And this is telling you very strongly that that is time to stop that. Now, had Aphrodite not come up, I would have said this might be a situation, and it might be for some that some people are having a little bit of a narcissistic moment, where they may deem themselves better than others. This is your call to cut that shit if you are in fact having one of those phases. And by allowing that self-love and this transformation to come in and start, you are going to see a very strong transformative process, and things that are no longer meant for you will fall away and allow for better things to come in. So I'm just shuffling this last goddess deck and we will see what the messages are. It's weird. Sometimes I feel stopped. Sometimes it's not so clear. So. Sorry about that. I thought I was done. Okay, that time I definitely felt it. Okay, so Athena, knowledge. Here you have two cards, right one on top of the other. Dana and Athena talking about knowledge. With this card, it's saying you have divine knowledge that can help others through your spiritual teaching. I do get this strong feeling like you have definitely been dimming your light to keep others happy. And as somebody who's been guilty of that, this is your sign to stop that. That you are much more powerful and much stronger and much more wise and much more knowledgeable and intelligent and spiritual and your guidance and your input and what you have to say in this world matters, and it can and will affect change for yourself and for others if you start speaking up and using your voice. Ine, adaptability. So yeah, do be prepared with endings and beginnings. You may have some connections or some friendships end and new connections come in and be made through this process. And then your final card is Spider Woman, co-creation. So it may very well be through this process you become linked with people who sync up better with who you are and what you are meant to do, and the changes that get affected in your life by starting to speak up and talk and have things shift and change. And you will find your tribe. You will find the people who are meant to be in your life, and you can potentially even partner up with some of them to really affect change in the world. So don't be afraid to share that, and don't be afraid to open yourself up to that change and that shift that you are getting a very strong sign. It is time to allow this to happen in your life. It may be scary, but it'll be worth it, okay? So I hope this message has helped. I hope you have resonated with this. Please let me know in the comments down below if you enjoyed this reading. And until next time, I wish you brightest blessings and blessed be. Okay, Icelandic Spar, this is your reading. Let us find out what Dark Goddess is calling you to affect change in your life. We shall see. So, Erzuli, prosperity, very interesting. So, I will read off what her meaning is out of the Dark Goddess Oracle book in a moment, but I just want to take a moment to start shuffling these cards if they'll cooperate and see what goddess messages come about from this group. course, in between groups, I put the cards randomly back in the decks, and I'm shuffling them rather thoroughly to ensure that everything gets mixed in well. That way, if the same cards come up again for different people, we knew they did so of their own volition. Please forgive the background noise. My puppy's in here. She was yawning, huh? And of course, I live on a busy street, and people are deciding to race their vehicles up and down my road. Kind of feeling like Raw Beauty Christie when she's like, really? I'm trying to record here. Oh, Lord. Tonight is just not my night for peaceful readings, I'm telling you. Okay. Almost done. Okay. So let's see what Erzuli has to say. Please forgive any background noise that you may be hearing. It is unfortunately outside of my own control. So, Erzuli, prosperity, success, and riches for the taking, excessive action needs forsaking, clearing out to give away, prosperity will come one day. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. So, acquiring things in life is not a sin, but to prosper at the expense of others' well-being is to walk a road that grows increasingly impassable underfoot. A life of excess, spending, taking, desiring more and more comes at a price. It is nice to be adored, to play the field, to have your jar of hearts full to the brim. But Erzuli looks into your soul and sees a far less rosy future if you continue to live without taking responsibility for the people and the things you collect along the way. You will soon be judged for who you are and not what you have. Right now, it might be hard to tell who the real you is, especially under all your stuff. Turn it over to Erzuli now, so she can help you sort through the muddle and show you what is really worth hanging on to and how to better take care of it. Dark Goddess's foresight. Avoid borrowing too much money, as strings are always attached. A lie is exposed. Time to choose the right person for you and stop stringing others along. Clean out your space and give your unwanted goods to a good cause. Recycle more, waste less, be honest in love, a debt must be paid. Erzuli revealed, archetypal collector of Haitian origin and clever, cunning, and multi-talented. Erzuli managed 3 husbands who provided her with a lavish and luxurious existence. She embodies all ages of the goddess and welcomes offerings of cakes, alcohol, and jewelry in return for protecting or avenging those who suffer at the hands of the greedy, promiscuous, selfish, or irresponsible. So, let's see what other goddesses come in to expand on this. Hathor, receptivity. Maeve, cycles and rhythms. Honor the cycles of your body, energy levels, and emotions. And Itchel, medicine woman. You are a channel for divine healing power. So while I take a look at these cards and try to delve into their meaning, I'm also going to shuffle these simultaneously so as to try to not waste any time. It could very well be that you are somebody who may be blocking your own prosperity, especially with that receptivity. Allow yourself to receive. This will increase your intuition, energy, and ability to give to others. Remember, especially if you are somebody who has been giving a lot but not receiving much in return, you cannot pour from an empty cup. That's where the cycles and rhythms come in. You have to allow yourself to receive things back so that you can continue to give. Part of that is, I think, comes in with the Erzuli with just be sure to not take too much advantage of it once things start coming in, because being too greedy, it acts as a double-edged sword. And with Medicine Woman, I get the feeling of heed that inner warning bell so that when things start to maybe get a little too out of control with, you know, if things start to feel like you're taking advantage of people, or if something just doesn't feel right, heed that intuition and allow that to guide you to not continue, you know, accepting things that you don't feel are right to accept. So pay attention to that. Let's see, we have Spider Woman, co-creation. Athena, knowledge. Wow. Great Goddess, sacred unity. Yeah. I need another card. The past, Bridget, creative spark, and Skuld, the future. Wow! We have past, present, and future energy. Wow, this goes along with cycles. This absolutely goes along with cycles. And cycles you may not have been aware of before. This is your sign that you keep having this repetitive behavior or this repetitive cycle in your life. And Athena is calling on you to really pay attention to this. Co-creation, it may very well be, especially with sacred unity coming up, this could happen to pertain to love, or it could happen to pertain to some sort of financially beneficial partnership coming in, especially if this may be something to do with a business or work of some kind, that you will have somebody who might help you. Just be careful about borrowing too much, just like Erzuli said. Be a little bit cautious, especially with present things going on in the world, and you should be okay. And definitely allow your creativity to flow. I had to say wow, because Athena had already shown up once, and Spider Woman had shown up in the reading before this one. And you saw how well I shuffled that deck. So, yeah. I hope this reading has resonated and may have offered you guidance that you may have needed. And if this in any way, make, shape, or form resonated for you, please let me know in the comments down below. I always like to hear back from you guys. And yeah, until next time, I wish you brightest blessings and blessed be. Hello, group Selenite. This is your reading. So let's see what your card is. And it is Medusa with appearance. So before I read off what her meaning is in the book, just want to shuffle these cards a bit. This could have to do with someone who is having issues with self-esteem. This could even have to do with someone who may have some form of ego mentality of, only affiliating with people who you deem beautiful externally. So, we'll see. Let me bring up the book in just a moment. I always shuffle until I feel that stop message come through. Okay, there it is. So, let's see what comes up for Medusa. Another goddess with some negative connotations sometimes, but gets a bad rap. Medusa appearance. Silky locks turn into snakes. Vanity promotes mistakes. Take off the mask with style and grace. Now stare your fears in the face. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. So this could even be talking about you putting on a masquerade to the world and pretending that things are better than what they are. Let's see. Your pursuit of gratification from pure vanity is an attribute that must be very wearing indeed. An excessive need for admiration coupled with a grandiose self-importance attitude has stripped away your understanding and compassion for others' feelings. Although you may fool others as well as yourself into believing that you are the trophy, you are in fact in love with an idealized self-image that you have carefully created. Medusa understands that it is to be understands what it is to be beautiful and admired. She also recognizes that the image that you portray masks a wounded self. There it is. Time to face up to the truth and reveal the real you. You know who that is, but does anybody else? Are you brave enough to drop the mask that you paint on so perfectly? Medusa warns you not to base your precious life on artificial appearances and the superficial, or you could run the risk of losing your pretty little head. Her foresight, rethink your priorities. Your self-obsessed attitude can be vexing. Never judge a book by its cover. Treasure will be found if you look deep enough. Get out of a narcissistic relationship. Look your fears in the face. Acceptance now brings healing. Archetypal narcissist of Greek origin, this Gorgon would petrify anyone foolish enough to meet her gaze, which she actively encouraged. Her reign only ended when she was finally decapitated by Perseus. So legendary was her power that depictions of her head appeared on buildings and shields to ward off evil spirits and physical harm. So there's her mention. So let's see. White Tara sensitivity. So it could very well be that you are someone who is very sensitive yourself. You are becoming increasingly sensitive, and avoid harsh relationships, environments, situations, and chemicals. So could be in everything that's going on. Your empathic nature and abilities are opening up. Ugnad, easy does it. There is no need to hurry or force things to happen. Everything is occurring in perfect timing and fast, independent. Your independence is a foundation for your strength and success. So as somebody personally who has gone through this process, I will post my video on shadow work in this video, as well as my video on empathic shielding for anyone who needs it. It very much feels like you are opening up your intuitive abilities. And with that, it's a process. It's a process that can be a bit overwhelming and scary at times. Hence why Easy Does It came in. To take your time and to not like try to force it to, finish or hurry up and open, because in the process of going through this, you really need to learn how to channel it and how to protect yourself while going through it. Hence why I will post the video on empathic shielding attached to this video as well. So now keep in mind that if your abilities are in fact awakening and they are opening up any facade that you put onto the world that everything is great and everything, that is going to fall away. It is going to fall away hard and fast, because this process can feel very overwhelming, hence the Easy Does It. And you are going to come to the point where it's like, man, the world is falling apart and I just can't keep a hold of everything. And you may end up losing friends. You may end up going your separate way from relationships that no longer help you or support you and may not allow you to grow and transition into this new self. So let's see what the other goddess deck has to say. That's why independence came in, by the way. Your abilities and everything, you will find that you need more time to yourself, especially if you're an empath and you are awakening to your abilities. It can be, like I've been saying, very overwhelming, and you will need to take time by yourself every single day to kind of clear away the energies and things you sense and pick up along your day. The empathic shielding video that I'll post here will help give you a guidance to kind of create a shield around you to try to minimize that absorption of gunk from other people that you don't necessarily want to pick up on, especially if you're just waking up into these abilities. So, the past, you'll have to do shadow work. I will post the shadow work video attached to this video, but I think I assigned it to a previous reading before yours. But it'll be there. Just hit the information icon in the upper right hand corner and you will see the links to all the videos that I'm linking to this entire video pop up, and you should be able to scroll down and tap on it. Generosity with Oshun. Green Tara, salvation. Now the other thing with Oshun She is a Yoruba hoodoo voodoo goddess. She is also about love. So this is about self-care, self-love. The generosity isn't about being generous with others. Right now, you have to be generous and take care of yourself. Okay? This, especially right now, going through all this, you will definitely need to practice a lot of self-care. And Green Tarot with Salvation is saying that everything's going to be okay at the other end of this. Now, I'm contemplating at the end of the week to do a reading to help guide people as to which form of divination they may want to delve into, and let me know in the comments down below if that's something of interest to you. It just will help give a starting point. Creative spark. You may find creativity of any kind cathartic right now. Interesting, when appearance came up, the first thing that popped into my head was beauty community. So it could be that if you are somebody who works with cosmetics, or you find therapeutic nature in being creative in any way, or in artistic abilities, it could be even writing poetry, anything of that nature where you're just allowing those creative juices to flow out of you and create things. Allow that to be your catharsis. You are going to be opened up, and especially I love this, how her entire head is a light right there. These are where the third eye and crown chakras are. That is definitely about awakening intuition, and with divine wisdom, that's frequently when your intuition is growing and expanding. Those are the chakras where you feel that informational download coming from the universe. And wisdom. So divine wisdom and wisdom. And again, third eye, yeah, this is just confirmation with Metis that this is happening for you right now. Or if it's not happening immediately, it's coming up. So I hope this reading has helped you and given you some sort of guidance, especially if this is something that you are going through right now. I do absolutely encourage you to watch the other videos that I'm linking to this, because they are only going to seek to help you through this process and allow you to go through it without you feeling like you are absolutely losing your ever-loving marbles. Because having gone through it, and I didn't have anyone to guide me through it, I did. For the longest time, I feel like I'm going insane. What is going on? I don't understand. And I didn't have anybody to guide me through it. I had to suffer through it. So because of that, I really want to try to help facilitate people having an easier time with it than I did. So yeah. Anyway, I hope this reading resonated with you. Please let me know in the comments down below. If it did, if you enjoyed this reading and you wish to have more like it, please let me know as well. And until next time, I wish you the brightest of blessings, and blessed be.